You got to just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never stop being hungry. You know, once you're satisfied, that's a killer to success in my view.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to want to grow. So I'll never be satisfied, and that's what drives me to keep going.
Welcome to today's podcast. On today's show, I'm joined by Rory O'Shaughnessy. Rory is an energy fitness franchisee. He's a client of Bankhouse Media and a friend I've got to know over the past few years, and I'm delighted to be working with. So thanks very much for coming in today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me up
Rory,
here too.
I appreciate it. So on today's show, we're going to talk just about energy fitness, how you got into franchising, bit about your backstory coming into it, and what your plans are for the future.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I really wanted to have you on today was through COVID, you know, I know that you've secured 2 premises. Have you secured 2? 1 at least?
Nearly 3.
3?
Yeah.
So like you're a very success story here where you're growing in a pandemic, and you're growing in a time when unfortunately for a lot of people it's not maybe gone so well. And I want to know why or how or what's been happening. So how did you get into energy fitness as a franchisee?
Well, like most things that I do, I just kind of end up in it. So energy fitness, when they moved over to Ireland from the UK, they took up offices in I had a small business at the time doing serviced offices. So they became a tenant of mine. And that just led to, you know, building a network of companies around me, kind of being a little nosy, asking the tenants what it is that they do. And you know, long and behold, I was opening clubs with energy fitness when just picking their brain on what it is that they do, and just ending up down a rabbit hole with it all.
The one thing that one of the parts even in the evolution of success, because we're all about mindset, you know, about that as well, and one of the key things is I'm always like, ask for help or ask questions. Like
100%.
that's how you get forward. Like, and the fact that you do, even whenever I first met you, were like, what are you doing? What's going on here? What's happening?
Get nosy, as I always say, you know. And so just asking enough questions about the franchise, because I was involved in Subway franchise over in Australia. And so I was quite keen to understand what their franchise model was like, having been in it. And I always had a keen interest in fitness, having played a lot of sport over the years and boxed. So it just led from one thing to another, you know. And next thing you're kind of sitting in their offices looking at premises and trying to get a gym open. So it's just, you know, it wasn't a passion of mine to want to do something to open a gym, but after a while it's become a passion that I've developed. You know, because
well, fitness was a passion, as you said beforehand.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was never something that I went, I really want to, you know, look at that industry and you know, start a business there. It just, I developed a passion for it, and I believe you need to have a passion to be somewhat successful. Because
there's times whenever you don't get paid. Right? There's times whenever you're waiting on money, waiting on people to pay you. So that's great. So bring us right back then. So whenever you went to college or university, or
I did business marketing and business management in IT Talent. It was a 4-year course. It took me 5 years to do it. I stayed back in 3rd year. Finished up that course and did a year on the student union as deputy president and educational officer. Post that, it was 2009, so heading right into the recession. No jobs in Ireland, very little jobs. I wouldn't say I was looking very hard to get a job, because I always wanted to somewhat do my own business. So I'd looked at a few franchises even back then. Nothing was materialising. Myself and my girlfriend at the time, who was now my wife, Nikki, we decided to move to Australia, you know, and try move over there, gain some experience, you know, stand on our own feet and try get a job over there. There was always the stories of, you know, there's so many Irish over there, there's lots of work, you know, head over there. So that's what we did, packed our bags up and left. Got a job over there, didn't like it, working in recruitment for 2 years, and kind of always thought there was more to life than standing in an office and looking out the windows. Like, I'll never forget the time looking out the boardroom window and looking at views like what you have here and just saying, there's so much more out there. You know, why am I cooked up here in a shirt and tie that I don't want to wear, you know? So I just started asking questions again, got nosy, you know. I remember playing pool with Nicky's boss at one time, and he said to me, Nicky said, you want to find your own thing. I have a couple of friends that are in the Subway franchise, why don't you look at that? And that's what I did. I went home that night and looked up online, got the franchise brochure sent to me, and just asked too many questions, you know. And next of all, I was opening a Subway store an hour down the peninsula.
Oh my God, amazing. That's brilliant. That's it. And even you mentioned the views here. Whenever I moved in here, I have to admit, like, I'm the same. I'm just like, you look out and you see like how many people, you know, and I lived in Australia as well.
Right.
And I worked in those big tall buildings. I done air conditioning. So I would have been floating around with everybody in the suits. I was in the Snickers trousers and a t-shirt, climbing the ladders, like, knocking dust all over their desks because like trying to get the filters right. And I have to admit, Australia is an inspirational place.
Oh, for sure, especially when you're in those tall buildings and you're overlooking, you know, Albert Park with the Grand Prix is on. You're overlooking St Kilda, you're overlooking the bay. And you just, you know, you look out these windows, you kind of say, you know, what's going on out there? Let's get amongst it.
I know, and that's it. And a lot of people now are going to find themselves like locked inside their houses, obviously, and like the only thing they're looking at is the news, and the need to like you need to widen your horizon and just 100%. Look out.
I completely agree.
And take that. So you then had a franchise, and so what made you come back then to Ireland?
Well, I got involved in the Subway franchise, and I had no passion for it. You know, as I said, I quickly realised you do need a passion for something. Like, I mean, I went up to Brisbane to do the training for the Subway. I'd never even been in a Subway. I'd never even bought a Subway. I swear to God. So I went up to do the training in Queensland. It was a 2-week training course. And the first time I was in a Subway is when they brought us all into a store to experience the customer feel for it and the brand. I went up to the counter and I said, give us a roll with a bit of butter on it, you know. And the Aussie's looking at me. You know, I thought he just couldn't understand me, but he was looking at me all funny. So just slap a bit of butter on the roll, I'll just have a bit of chicken. You know, and the next person behind me nudged me and says, they don't do butter here. You can't get butter in a Subway. That showed how much I knew nothing about it.
Oh my God, You
know, so I had to learn quick. You know, passed the course, learned very quick, but you know, after a couple of years I had no passion for food. That's the thing, like whenever you're going, but so that prepared you for entering in to sit down. 100%. You could have a real conversation with energy then. You know, you could be like... It was a huge learning curve. You know, and I believe franchises are great for anybody with no experience in business. Because there's processes there, they've the product there. I always believe the 3 Ps in business, you know, people, process and product. And franchises provide 2 of them. So if you have a good attitude, you can make something of it. But, you know, I again, had no passion for food whatsoever. But I suppose that's what led to my curiosity when I came back to Ireland and asked about the fitness franchise. You know, kind of have an experience for it. And
Sharon, who runs Bankhouse now, she's all about process.
Right.
Like, I mean, has us all regimented. You know, there's a process for every single thing. There's a process for every client. Right. There's sign in, sign out, get on, get off. It's like, it definitely has totally transformed the business. You know, it's put it a different... So that's brilliant as well. Like,
you're a big believer in it,
Oh, well, I am, but the thing is, I just am not really good at putting the structure in myself.
Right.
I have it in my head, and then I can I know what I have to do. But it's just having it so that other people are accountable, I suppose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like,
so and it's like a roadmap.
It's how you can grow.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm a big believer in processes and systems. You know, and if they're tight, people can stick to them and expand and grow. You know?
So for anybody that doesn't know, just tell us, what is a franchise?
To me, a franchise is helping people get into business.
Okay.
You know, they sell franchise agreements and they sell systems and processes to enable that person to get into business. Very much me, who had no experience going into the Subway, you know, they presented me like a bag of tools to say, this is how you go about doing your business. So that's the way I see it. You know, if I was a master franchisor, my objective would be to get as many people into business as I can. You know, they provide the systems, they provide the processes, so it's enabling people to get into business.
No, I think it's brilliant as well, and I have looked at it over the years, and I looked at possibly taking a business model to move into franchise. You were the first person I rang. Do you remember? I talked about it at one point. I said, I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think? And you know, you'd give really solid advice. I thought it is a great thing to do.
For sure.
So then, whenever you came back then to Ireland and Energy then presented itself, what was the next steps then for you? Like, what did you, because I know you've got one of the most beautiful gyms. Do you know the gym that you have in City West? Which we can talk about your locations and the new locations coming, but I haven't been in the second one, but the one in City West reminded me of Australia.
You were saying,
I said that as soon as I came in. That was exactly like my gym in Bondi Junction.
Right.
It was the same.
A lot of natural light.
Treadmills. I felt like I was running through the window into the city. Do you know what I mean?
Good views.
Yeah. So talk us through, what was your next steps then?
I suppose when I got involved with the franchise, you know, it was one step at a time. You know, you obviously have the dream, I'm going to open 10 clubs, but it was one step at a time. I realised I had no experience in the fitness industry. and I'd only moved back to Ireland. I was home 3 months at this stage.
Yeah.
So I was still trying to find my feet. You know, I hadn't even got a car, hadn't even got a laptop. So it was very much trying to set my foundation again. So it was 100 mile an hour as soon as I got back.
Yeah.
But you know, lucky enough to get a club open and moved on to the next one fairly quick after that.
Yeah. So where are your locations for anyone who's based in Dublin?
So my first club that opened was in Drimna in Dublin 12.
Yeah.
Second location is in City West,
Yeah.
just on the outskirts of Tallaght.
Yeah.
And the next location after that is out in Balbriggan,
Yeah.
up towards Swords.
Okay.
And then we've 2 locations secured for 2021.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Can you talk about those yet, or
not really?
I've seen the plans, and I know where they're going into. This is one thing that I think you do really, really well. And you know, gyms are. We talk all the time in Bankhouse about having a needs-based business.
Right.
You know, whenever our clients are coming through, we can say, like, you know, this is something that is a luxury for somebody, and I would maybe try and shift it or change the messaging where it's going to be something like this is what somebody needs. Because it's going to then just, you know, where it's like if someone is, you know yourself, like people need to stay fit right now. You know?
Yeah, more so than ever.
Mental health.
You know, mental health, your personal well-being.
Yeah.
And this is what has allowed us to look at expanding.
Yeah.
You know, when people are greedy, be fearful. And when people are fearful, be greedy.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. People are quite fearful now. So there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah.
And we want to get greedy. We want to open more clubs.
Yeah.
You know, and the model of the energy fitness is very fitting for what's happening here.
Yeah.
You know, because of the restrictions.
It's so cost effective.
It's cost effective.
And it's also like, even though we talk about it, you talk about having a franchise, like your buildings are community lit. Do you know, you feel like you're in a family with the classes. We film some of the classes out there. I know your managers, you know, and it doesn't feel like you're walking into a McDonald's. Like people think of franchises as like impersonal, like yours definitely.
Yeah, big brand, you know, big commercial side.
Yeah.
No, look, for me, I always wanted to focus on opening up in communities.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel that the model is very community based, as you said. We're not a big retailer in the city centre. We're very community based. You know, there's a purpose to what we do. We want to get people fit and healthy.
Yeah.
You want to look after their well-being. You want to change their lives, and no better place to do that than in communities.
Yeah.
So I'm targeting areas that need these services. I'm targeting areas that there's a demand for it.
Yeah.
And hence the next 2 locations are very similar.
Very similar to Balbriggan. You know, I find as well. Like, you know.
They're up and coming, thriving areas.
Yeah.
You know, I always check what type of planning and development is happening in the area.
Yeah.
What type of money the county council are spending. You know, and they're up and coming, thriving areas.
You mentioned in 2009 that you came out of college and you were stepping into recession or an economic downturn. Like, we don't know what's going to happen right now, but there is, you know, we're stepping into an economic downturn. You know, in some sense, there is businesses that you're thriving right now, but there is businesses that maybe aren't going to, and there's people that are coming out of college with degrees, with qualifications that they've thought that their whole lives are planned out for them, and they're absolutely shitting themselves now, you know, because they're like, so we want to, like, you actually are a really good person to like give a bit of advice to that. What would you say to somebody that's just coming through right now, coming out of college and just being like, what the hell do I do
for
next?
me, there's always opportunity. You know, there's always times where one sector or one industry is not thriving as much as the other. So you've got to just be able to identify those areas. But again, if you come out of college having studied one particular education in one particular sector, and you're saying, well, that's a dying sector, what do I do now? Your education will never be wasted. You know, you'll always be able to take what you've learned and adapt it in another field. So, you know, I would always just say, keep the head up, you know, get busy, keep looking, and just get amongst it.
I know, and that's it. Like, so whenever I look at qualification on someone, if I look at someone's degrees or anything like that, I personally don't go by that. But now I've been looking at it, I think it does show a good sense of, okay, they can commit to something, they can finish something.
100%.
Their spelling is more than likely going to be quite good, you know, because I didn't get any degrees. My spelling is atrocious. I'm dyslexic.
I'm the same.
Yeah, but so it's like I look at it for not points around their degree. I more look at it like, okay, they finished at college or they've committed to something, and then you can, because what I have found is like, and that's why we're opening the online academy. Like, there's short training courses that you can do that can change your life. Can change how you look at things. Even before this podcast, whenever I was talking to you about lead generation, you know, and how you sort of do it. And I'm really looking forward to us having a chat about this after, like moving into that for your next two premises, and just saying this is like the way that we would map this out, and going through that stage by stage with you. So the thing is, people are coming out, and if you already have a qualification, I think don't be afraid to change direction.
No, that's it, and that's what I meant by it. Look, attitude is everything. I've taken on so many people that have no experience whatsoever, but I just love their attitude. You know, if they have an attitude to want to do something, and they have an attitude to learn, you know, you're come with me all you want. You know, I've taken people on that I just like, and I don't have a job position for them. You know, because they're good people. Get them involved. Get them around.
I'm the same. I sometimes meet people, and I would say to Sharon, "Oh my God, I met this girl," and Sharon's like, "Well, Matthew, can you get her to send my CV? Can you send over a CV?" We actually end up employing her. And I said, "Look, we've got a girl," and Sharon was like, "Well, Matthew, I need to see her CV." And I was like, "No, I'll send you it and everything." I was like, and she, because obviously she knows what I'm like, and I would have just jumped in. But after she read the CV, she was like, "Okay, well, let's get her on the phone straight away." And she started the next Monday.
But look, a CV doesn't always tell the true story.
I know.
You know, I scan CVs very quickly and just say, "Get them in."
Get them in.
Let's just get speaking, see what the attitude is like, and can we work with it?
And that's it, and you move from there. So with digital, right? So how important is digital, like, and social media to your business?
It's been huge, especially during lockdown. You know, not being able to open our premises, we've had to reshape our business model entirely, to survive. So we've gone from, you know, units to moving to digital offerings. So we were able to, you know, offer our members, so they kept paying their subscription every month to ensure we'd have some income to survive. What we did was offer online training programs, online meal plans. We had a nutritionist develop a lot of meal plans for us. We did online classes where we streamed them through Zoom. So we had a lot of different online platforms to keep people happy at home, keep them active, and keep them in I suppose interested in the brand. And they started. I mean, it was an opportunity for us to stand out and really show what the brand is about.
You moved fast.
We moved very quick.
You moved fast. Like the people that, you know, on the day that I noticed by whenever people were like ringing us, and even like we were luckily allowed to work. We were a necessity business, and we were allowed to go to shoot in premises and do different things. And we went down and shot your gyms empty. You know what I mean? Where we've never really had the opportunity to do that, but they looked amazing and were able to do that. So I think that was really an innovative moment, and I think that shows like your experience as well.
Sometimes you can overthink it. It like you said, it was innovative. You just do it. Just get at it. You know, and get good people around you like yourself that can give guidance on what way to go with it. So we very much had the right people around us to help us. The franchise were very active in making it happen. We were able to get our content up on the website. You know, it's a time of change, and people don't like change. But unfortunately, with what's going on, the whole world is changing. You know, so you've got to embrace it. You know, you've got to innovate or die. So, you know, we made the changes, we survived, and now we're back to doing what we do best. You know.
I know that, and that's it. And if it does go back, you're prepared. Do you know what I mean?
Ready to rock.
It does open to a whole different side of things. You know.
We've kept some aspects of it though, still in the business. We still offer online classes. So because we're restricted with the capacity in our studio, not everybody can book in or get a place. So people are getting, you know, quite annoyed that every time I try to book a spin class or a yoga class or a kettlebell class, I can't get in. So we've kept the aspect of it Zoom or streaming it live. So people can still do it from home. So they're still getting value for their membership if they can't get into the gym.
Well, that's like showing so much more value as well.
But that's, you know, these challenging times are leading to nice changes and positive changes for businesses. And they're making us realise, oh wow, there's actually more we can do because we've had to do it. You know, the new booking system for members to book in is working really well for us. And we'll keep it that way. You know?
I actually, this is the thing, like I started back in the gym after lockdown as soon as it opened. I think I was like a quarter of a pound off 13 stone. I don't think it was the heaviest I've ever been, but it's the heaviest I've ever actually weighed in it. And I'm down to nearly like about 11 stone 8 now. So I've lost like nearly a stone and a half since I've been like running, counting calories. I learned, you know, that I've got a couple of fitness online fitness business as well. It's done really well for us through lockdown. But I did end up bringing, you know, the trainers and being like, hey, So what do I need to do here? And
Right.
we're just like, start counting your calories. And that was whenever I first started doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm now running and rowing and back into yoga.
So it drove change in your life as well.
Massive.
Didn't it?
And I was saying to Daniel this morning, even going down the lift, why the F did I not get into fitness like 2 years ago? And he said, I've been telling you this.
Yeah.
And it did sort of just everything just sort of switch off and settle down. And I'm like, right, okay, I need to like make a change. And I think everybody needs to do it.
Well, it's funny enough. We lost about 30% of our members during lockdown, if not more.
That's actually good retention though. Only
it was through the digital offering. So we did all right. You know, we thought we'd see all those members back. Yeah. So looking at the statistics of where all the sales coming from, we did a lot of sales when we opened up. It's like a golden quarter all over again. Yeah. Excuse me. January, February being the golden quarter in the fitness industry. You know, people want to turn over a new leaf, go off the drink, post Xmas. Yeah. It was like that all over again. Yeah. But what led to the statistics that we looked at was we only had 15% of those people that left actually come back. 85% of the new members were people that had never been in a gym before. Wow. Because, like what you said, they were out running around, trying to keep active during lockdown. Yeah. You know, change their diet.
Counting the steps.
Yeah, no, that's it. And now they feel confident.
Put on a lot of weight, you know. What I would say to anybody, though, and this is a bit of advice, and I've done this for my yoga class as well, whenever I really want to master yoga, I want to know all the moves without having to look at anything, like I'm determined, you know. Yeah. But this is one thing that I would say to anybody, like, and I think it's what I done, and I think it would be great. If you do end up going to a class, like kettlebell class, and it's your first time going, sit online and watch it and see what it's like. Don't do the moves, don't do anything. Watch what the yoga class. So I'm watching my online yoga class, I'm watching it like and actually saying, okay, so that's what she's talking about when she's doing that. So then whenever I go in, I'm not like, you know, looking over to one side.
Environment.
Yeah. And my mate Shane now is a yoga trainer, so he said, look, he will bring me through everything. But I never thought of doing that before, because I was one of the people that was nervous going into like a class.
It's funny that you say that. So with the restrictions in place now in phase 3, we can't have any classes. Okay. So I immediately told the area manager, who told the managers, I said, you need to start demonstrating the gym floor through social media, because we have a lot of people that just join our gym to use the classes. Okay. And I says, now they're going to leave, they're going to freeze their membership. Yeah. We need to encourage them to come in and use the gym facility. Yeah. So what we're doing is very much like what you said. We're getting the staff to demonstrate how to use all the equipment through social media and through videos. Yeah. So then they'll look at it and go, oh, that's how you use that. Okay, I think I'll come in.
Oh no, totally.
Or I'll ask for that person that I've seen in the social media content, and it just
the gym is an intimidating place.
It can be.
It can be. Yeah. Sorry, yes, it's not an intimidating place, but it can. I'm talking about as a perception from a person. You know, it can be perceived as where you just need to go, and it's always about like knowledge. You know, my dad had said to me the other week he had a problem with a gout. Like, it's not a very nice topic to talk about, but he was like taking a tablet for it, and I said, why are you taking tablets? I said, go educate yourself on what foods you don't eat. And he said, what do you mean? I said, watch YouTube. Following day he was telling me like he was an expert. He was like, and he cut out all the stuff, and he's no tablets, and his feet is brilliant. Really, yeah. Like 100%. Like, and it's all just about educating yourself.
Education gives people confidence. Yeah. And I'm a big believer in educating myself. I like to sit back and stay quiet. And watch people a lot. Yeah. When I'm sitting in surroundings of groups, I tend to not talk a lot, because I like to watch and learn. Yeah. And you can take so much from it. Yeah. Depending on what stage people go into business at, you know, you're obviously in a position, maybe not, like even with Subways, for example, you know, what was it like before social media? Did you find? I don't think there ever was before. Look, social media has definitely, you know, grown since I started in business. Yeah. And I find myself using it a lot more. Yeah. I mean, for the last club launch in Balbriggan, it's a very young demographics out there. Yeah. I sold hundreds of memberships through Facebook. Okay. You know, I hadn't even hired a staff member. Hadn't even signed a lease.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it was all through Facebook. You know? So the margins were pretty good. Yeah. And when I took staff on, they were like, okay, you know, how are we going selling? I was like, well, you're all right. We're pretty much at break even already. I've done it through Facebook.
Well, this is the thing, like, you know, and there is, and you do pay, which is, you know, you're not afraid to like jump in, book an agency, get us down, do videos, do whatever it is. And that's one thing that I always see. That's whenever I know a business is really going to do well, or a business owner, because they're not afraid to spend. But a lot of people are thinking now that, you know, by putting posts up on their Instagram, by putting it, they're not, like, it is pay to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you do, even if it's a small budget. I told you about one of my clients spend £10 a day at the minute, and like you know, pretty much nearly back to
great results.
Great results back to nearly pre-COVID.
Yeah.
You know, probably a couple of grand off being pre-COVID on a weekly basis, which we're excited about bringing it right back to COVID and then doubling. You know.
Yeah.
But what I would. That's the thing. People don't be afraid to, like, you have to pay, but you get it back.
Oh, of course you
get
do.
The return.
Yeah. Well, look, you know, with every club launch I have, I'm seeing it more and more. Use social media.
Yeah.
I mean, for the first club launch, it was a very old school approach from the franchise.
Yeah.
To give you a package, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I kind of changed it up, having learned that didn't work.
Yeah.
And started gearing towards social media.
Yeah.
So originally it was, you know, get out and about and talk to people, you know, collect leads on a pad, send flyers, hand flyers out. Look, that still works, but times are changing.
You can get directly into someone's mobile phone in like within minutes.
Oh, that's it.
You know,
I couldn't believe there was old selling memberships on my own, like before I launched the club, all through social media. Yeah. So for the next club, that's why I mentioned, you know, earlier on, will you do a strategy first? I want to see the results of really focusing.
And then you can take that strategy and just put it in all yours. Because you're not going to stop at the next two. You know,
I've somewhat got a template from the last one, but I'd now like to hone it,
educate a bit more, and then you can go like, right,
it's been self-education from the get-go. Now it's like, right, well, let's well, I spoke to you as well about, like, I'll run through, as a client, like, I'll run you through the same strategy we do for our online academy. Yeah, brilliant. You know what I mean? We'll even use it as a test run as well, you know. Sure. That'll be good to sort of do. I think it'll test well.
You know. We get good results. Yeah. For your content for social media, you know, we've done videos for it, but what I've seen, like, you know, before and afters. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's got to be quite personalised. You know, it's not so much put up content of this person in super shape. Yeah. We're finding over the last few weeks we started focusing on testimonials. Okay. And we started focusing on online reviews. Yeah. And the testimonials, even if you go through our social media pages, they get so much traffic. Yeah. Because it's real. Yeah. You know, and people go, oh, I know that person, or geez, that person got great results. Yeah. You know, it happens. It works. Yeah. You know. So,
and they can use somebody, like, for a bit of motivation as well.
Yeah, you know, 100%. Yeah.
And Adam, actually, that, you know, one of who we run this online fitness business for, Adam Collard, he made me take photographs. He was like, take photographs. You're not going to like it to start, but just do it. Yeah. I'm so glad that he did. Yeah. Because I'm like,
you're seeing the results.
I'm seeing the results now, and I'm like, geez, I didn't think. And even though they're small, like, they're big to me.
Yeah, because you're able to go back to step one and look at it. But if you're not tracking it, you're not really seeing it, because you're gradually changing, you know. But if you're able to go back and look at what you were originally, you're going, wow, you know.
I know, well, that's it.
And it motivates you to keep going.
It does motivate you to keep going 100%. Yeah. Referrals have built my business. Do you know what I mean? Like, they built it from like 2014, and I get referrals all the time. Main thing for me is, like, having the team to sort of do it. Yeah. You're lucky with the gyms. If you get referral, like, you've got it. You can. You have a big
referrals are excellent way to do business. For me, referrals, we look at it, and what we call it is creating raving fans. So we get our members to sell for us, which is your referral. So if we have good customer service, we use our social media platforms to demonstrate the equipment, demonstrate the facility. Yeah, you have people talking about you, you know, and one member will say, "Come on up and do this class. It's great." Yeah. Or come up. It's a real clean, great facility.
Gym partners as well.
Say that again?
Gym partners, like people going to the gym
like
together.
Have somebody to train with. Yeah. So referrals are an excellent way to grow your business and drive it. Yeah. You know.
And for us, it's like, I always need to make sure that the team isn't overwhelmed, though. Right. You know, whenever we're bringing in work, so we turn on ads or turn them off at the time. We actually have them off most of the time because we're at full capacity.
Never refuse business.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
You mentioned team there. You gotta grow a good team to expand. Yeah. I haven't been able to grow and expand and look to even expand further without a good team in place. Yeah. Like, I was thinking about all the staff on my drive up here, and I couldn't fault one of them. You know, it's taken me time to get that team together. They're all brilliant. You know, they give me confidence that I can leave them do their job. Yeah. And I've a good area manager in place now who probably knows the business better than me. Yeah. You know, but I stay out of their way. I let them do their job. I trust them, and that allows me to expand.
Oh, like, that's it. Like, even we had talked about this off camera. You know, I was on holidays, I took a few days off before I went on holidays and then came back, and I haven't really been in the office properly for 6 weeks. But whenever you say about, you know, you kind of get in, they know the business better than you. Sharon knows my business probably better than me right now because she's on with a client. No, it's brilliant. But it does take a bit. You're a bit like at the start in the moment, because I was so attached to it, I had to like let it go. You know, but it wasn't until she pointed out to me, like, kind of runs okay, if not better, with you off doing whatever.
Exactly, stay out of their way.
But I just like shifted gear immediately, and I was, as I said to you before this, like I'm building for the next decade. The last decade was like a teaching and a learning and a foundation, and now I'm building from there.
It's definitely a skill set that needs to be learned. You know, to trust your staff, to allow them to do their job. You know, a lot of people get hell bound on, oh, I'll just do it. I'll do it better. You know, don't. You know, why did you hire someone then? You know, let them do their job. It's, you know, you've got to be able to step back and let them do it. You know, some people would say, oh, you're crazy, you know, hiring that amount of people. But it's allowing me to expand. You know, yes, it mightn't run to the best of its ability if that was the one gym facility that I just focused on. You know, yes, it'll have, you know, 100% grading, but it won't allow me to expand unless I step back and let people do their job. Well,
this I've really, with hiring, right? So I've hired over so much over the years. And what I used to do was hire somebody and start them. But whenever Sharon came on, I was like, right, okay. So I think she came on like maybe in the September of that year. She didn't talk to any clients till like January. Bits and pieces. But she really like worked on our strategy, on our procedures, and this was like she kept saying like, I'll jump in and do this, and I was like, no, you focus on this for now, because this is what I've never done before, like actually properly trained through. So whenever she was then getting introduced to clients, and at that point fully managing the team, it was, she knew everything about the company. Well, not everything. Obviously, we're all still learning every day.
Of course.
But it's like taking that time. So it's like making sure the training's in place. So whenever the new people have been starting, even through lockdown, we haven't even let them near the clients for months. Whereas I before had naively, you know, maybe put people in touch with, you know what I mean? So it was just more like of a training.
There's a process in place.
Process in place is what you keep talking about.
100%.
And it's like that, and we've now nailed ours. We've nailed it.
You've got a product, you've got a process, now you've got the good people.
You've got the good people, that's it,
People are everything. Good staff is everything.
No, that's it. And I'm very appreciative, and I know you are as well. But so what's next then? What is next?
Oh man, what is next? Look, you got to just keep going. You know, I'll never stop being hungry. You know, once you're satisfied, that's a killer to success in my view. Because you're not going to want to grow. So I'll never be satisfied, and that's what drives me to keep going. So what's next? Who knows? Life is a journey. Take it one step at a time. You know, but you know, have the ambition to do more. So who knows what's next for me?
Well, I think the one key thing that you've said, and you've said it throughout this as well, is like just the next step. You know, you're going into 5 gyms right now within the next 6 months or so. Like whenever you start out, it's like if someone's kicking off right now, don't be have the dream, as you say, like the 5 gyms, but like next step.
If an opportunity presents itself, learn later. I'll never turn down an opportunity. If I know nothing about it, who cares? Just get stuck in.
We've had meetings outside fitness in other aspects, in other gyms, or other areas of business, which that's one thing, like, been really innovative, really amazing team around you. Well, that was brilliant, Rory. Thank you so much for coming up. Where does everybody find then your gyms, or what's the next step? Because also you do offer online training, so
look, energyfitness.com. You'll find all the club listings there. Energy Fitness social media pages, Facebook pages, you'll find them there. You'll find the up and coming gyms and their announcements of when we're open. Energyfitness.com.
And people need to follow and watch and see what has been working for you.
100%.
And maybe even they can replicate that, you know, whatever they're doing. Getting personal, going a bit rough and ratty with the images, and having like your clients sell your business for you.
That's it. Demonstrate your facility, create the awareness, you know, sell your product, sell the people, you know, and build confidence in people out there. People are losing confidence, are nervous during these times. Put that confidence in them, and no better way than to get it out there on all sorts of platforms, you know.
Brilliant.
So
amazing. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Great.
That was different. Thanks.